in accordance with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. If you require a disability-related modification or accommodation to attend or participate in this meeting, including auxiliary aids or services, please call the City Clerk's office at 310-952-1720 at least 48 hours prior to the meeting. Rules of decorum. No person attending a public meeting will engage in disorderly or boisterous conduct, including, but not limited to, applause, whistling, stamping of feet, booing, or making any loud, threatening, or profane, abusive, personal, or slanderous utterance that disturbs, disrupts, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting. All remarks by members of the public shall be addressed to the mayor or the chair, and not to any other member of the public or any single council, board, or commission member, unless in response to a question that the member. Signs, placards, banners, or other similar items shall not be permitted in the audience during a public meeting. All persons attending a public meeting shall obey any lawful order of the presiding officer to enforce the rules of decorum. Treat everyone courteously, listen to others respectfully, exercise self-control, give open-minded consideration to all viewpoints, focus on the issues and avoid personalizing debate, embrace respectful disagreement and dissent as democratic rights that are inherent components of an inclusive public process and tools for forging sound decisions. Public information. The public may address the members of the City Council on any matters within the jurisdiction of the City Council or on any items on the agenda of the City Council during the designated public comment periods. There will be 2 oral communications sessions, one for agendized items, comment about items on the agenda, and the other for non-agendized items, comments about items not on the agenda. The oral communication portion of the agenda is limited to a duration of 1 hour unless otherwise approved by the City Council. Comment time is normally 3 minutes, depending on the number of speakers. Public viewing available by live stream on the city's website. The meeting will be streamed live over the internet, www.carsonca.gov, or on YouTube, www.youtube.com/c/City of Carson, California, official YouTube page. Cable Spectrum Channel 35 and AT&T Channel 99. If you're unable to attend the meeting in person, public comments can be submitted before the meeting. Email. Public comments can be emailed to cityclerk@carsonca.gov. The cutoff time to submit any email communications is 3 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Written communications can be dropped off at the City Clerk's office at City Hall. The cutoff time to submit any written communications is 3 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Written communications dropped off at the City Clerk's office or any email received will not be read aloud at council meetings, but will be circulated to City Council and incorporated into the minutes. We're calling to order the Carson City Council, successor agency, Housing Authority, and Public Financing Authority. Today is Tuesday, February 18th. Roll call, Madam City Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Councilmember Rojas.
Present.
Councilmember Deere.
Present.
Councilmember Hicks.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Hilton.
Present.
Mayor Davis Holmes.
Present.
Thank you.
We'll have a flag salute by Councilman Deere.
Please stand if you're able. Put your right hand over your heart and face the flag. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Today we'll have our invocation by none other than Pastor Michael Ely from Prevailing in Christ Ministries. How are you, Pastor?
God bless you. The council, should we bow our heads in a word of prayer? To you be the honor and the glory, Father, forever. We pray, O Lord, that you would Give attention to our land, to our homes, to our labor, to our city. Look favorably upon our community. Protect every citizen and every leader that we have. Enrich, O Lord, so that we may be a blessing to others. We pray that you would be honored. We pray that you would be lifted up. We pray that your grace would abound forever, O God. We thank you already in advance that we have this hope in you, Lord. Bless this city, that it may rise and give you the praise and the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Pastor, did you want to make another announcement about your project?
Oh, I would love to. Carson Cares project. Our Operation Carson Cares. We're trying to raise money for the Altadena, Eden Canyon, Palace AIDS, the fires that have devastated families and homes and lives. We are asking that people would make donations to Prevailing Family Life Center of any amount would be of great help and of great service to that community that has been devastated. We want to be that blessing. Hello. All right. But we're looking forward, from staff of the city to all the citizens of Carson and that voice that keeps kicking in. If we can just contribute and we can be make a huge statement from the city of Carson, any amount that you would do, Prevailing Family Life Center, partnering with the city of Carson, showing that compassion, that concern for those that have been hurt by this fire. We would love your help. Please do so.
Thank you, Pastor. Maisha is going to be calling for a meeting here for, I think it's next week, to come up with some dates and timelines for the projects you've proposed, and then at that time you can make a report.
Yes.
Next, we'll have closed session items 2 through 4. Madam City Clerk, anyone want to speak on closed session items?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Item number 1 will not
minute,
be
wait a minute.
considered.
City Clerk, are they?
Sorry.
You want to go home early?
There were no comments received, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Just trying to help expedite the meeting. Sorry.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
We're not considering item number 2. On item number 3, a closed session will be held pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.91 to confer with legal counsel regarding pending litigation in the matter of Kendall versus City of Carson Workers' Comp case, WCAB case number ADJ 134787949. And a closed session will be held pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6 with City Manager and Assistant City Manager and Human Resources Officer regarding labor negotiations with AIM, CPSA, AFSCME Local 809 and 1017, as well as unclassified management. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Should be back about 6 o'clock or sooner? We
6
should
is
reconvene
maybe
at-
earlier even.
We'll reconvene no later than 6 o'clock.
I'd like to call the meeting back to order. Madam City Clerk, can you give us a report on closed session? We're calling the meeting back to order? No,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. The council met in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.91 to confer with legal counsel in the matter of Kendall versus City of Carson Workers' Comp Appeals Board, case number ADJ 134. Oh, That's really
IT
7849.
technical difficulties.
no reportable action was taken.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney.
One more report. Council met pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6 to conduct labor negotiations. No reportable action was taken.
Can we get who's ever in that IT booth to fix the over talk or the talk back? The recording is playing back. I don't know if you hear it in there, but we hear it clearly in here. It's repeating itself.
Okay, let's move on.
You want me to keep going? Oh. We've heard the closed session, and here we are at introductions. We're going to come back to introductions for a second. We're going to pull the item on for discussion for the new city artwork. And City Manager, can you give us a report for that?
Thank you.
Item 24, you're going to do? Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor Pro Tem, Madam Mayor and Council. Item 24, discussion. Consider the updating marketing and city seal logo, and this is for your discussion and approval. This item comes to you before or tonight to basically look at the examples of the potential new city seal. As you know, that there was the marketing logo that you all were considering, but more importantly, the city seal is something that we're looking to upgrade, refresh, in the light of the new movement of the city. We wanted to bring something that we thought would be favorable, that would represent the city as we move forward, as we go forward. And so I'm going to ask at this time, I believe our IT department would assist me in this endeavor by going into the file there, and they're going to upload the two options that the city has for consideration. So as you can see, the first option, number one there, still keeps our seal as far as the stamp on the exterior representing the city of Carson, California, highlighting the incorporation date of February 20th, 1968. You see that that is similar. We kept it the same as the previous seal, so kind of an ode, if you will, or a nod to the prior seal. And then you see the two symbols, one being a book, whether it be your field in legal, whether it be your field in IT or even Parks and Recreation, but it's a book of a historical book, if you will. On the other side are two hands that could be seen as high five or thank you, congratulations, or could be another symbol of whatever you desire that to represent. But in the center is a jewel, and you see it's got multiple pieces there because it's an idea of all of the pieces are necessary in order to come together to make one jewel, one piece, one united front. And so that is the aim, I believe, of the council moving forward, is to see that the city of Carson being known as the jewel of the South Bay. Hence, that's what you have there. So that's the first submission. That's the first offering, if you will. The second offering is the exact same, minus the two symbols on the edge. Still clean, still simplistic, yet drives home the message of the city being the jewel of the South Bay. And so unlike our current seal, which was developed in the 60s, I believe, highlighting a number of different entities within the city, it gets very dated or very difficult to make out what those entities are when it's either embroidered or on a smaller platform. So from this perspective, this is where, again, the jewel kind of stands out, is accentuated and highlighting it being the jewel, the city of Carson being the jewel of the South Bay. And so that's the two submissions, Madam Mayor and Council, for your discussion or any questions.
Dr. Hilton is queued up. Anyone else want to speak on this? Please queue up.
I was going to say the second logo is great. If we do the first one that you presented, we'll run into the same problem. When you talk about embroidery, you want something that's clean. You don't want anything that has that the small hands, the book for the detail, because that's going to make it impossible to embroider. It's not going to be clean. So after my colleagues talk, I'm of the mindset, I know that Jim is queued up, so I'm of the mindset to make a motion to approve the second, to approve the one that's on the screen at the present moment, because it will be able to be printable, it will be able to be embroidered, it will be able to be screen printed, it will look good on letterhead, all of those things.
I'll second that motion. Councilman, let's see who, Dear. Cedric, you have, it's the 3 and a 3.
I'm queued up. First of all, as a point of order here, on the agenda, it states we're going to discuss the marketing logo of the city. And as most people know, this is the marketing logo of the city. But the report was about the city seal, which you'll find on our business cards in the lobby. So we can't vote on the city seal if it's not on the agenda. The city attorney needs to address this. What do you read when you see subject consider updated marketing city logo concepts and the summary and the recommendation? It's talking about the city marketing logo. Again, this is our marketing logo. So that's one point. Second point is, I like this logo. I think it looks really good. It's really attractive. Some people don't like it, but you're not going to please everyone. Well, that's a separate issue. We need to take care of the first issue first. It's not on the agenda to deal with the city seal. Now, I think we should deal with the city seal, but you have to do it legally, and it doesn't look like it's legal tonight.
Madam City Attorney.
I haven't looked at the staff report, Madam Mayor. The city manager's pulling it up. The listing is not as critical as what's put in the staff report is. So if you give me a minute, I will look at the staff report and I will report back.
Okay. We will take a quick recess. Councilman Hicks, you had comments on this?
My comment was, I looked at both of the logos that you had before you. I was just trying to figure, do we had a different type of diamond? One that was more pronounced to give you that, so you know that as a diamond. It looks like a diamond, but something that really lets you know that it's an actual diamond, or a jewel.
So there were other ideas for diamonds that were submitted. There was, I think, kind of to Mayor Pro Tem's point, that the diamond, or even from the embroidery standpoint, becomes difficult as you try to get detailed in like the curvature or the lines of a diamond. When you start trying to embroider something in from a smaller text, it becomes a little difficult to read, or it blends. So it's hard to tell what then that becomes or what that object may be. And so I think the concept and idea was, with this particular diamond and the pieces that you see separated in that manner, also gives the flexibility for various events that we have in the city to be able to change the colors. As an example, this month being Black History Month, you could actually put different colors representing the month. And so for each particular event that we have in the city, this was something that made it a little more adaptable than the previous seal that we had. And so this is just the option, I think the best option when it came to the diamond, to your point.
I was just looking at, in regards to a diamond, if it's flat, there are facets on an actual diamond where you have the reflection of light. So determining how you put the markings on this will give you the illusion of that sparkle between, as you make the entire diamond sparkle with on the paper. I mean, you're getting close to it where you see the apex on the right side of it. It gives you that point in the middle. It's almost as if you did it twice, it may give you that look for symmetrical reasons between the two apex on the end from the top. I'm just very analytical in the process of how you look at it. So, my 2 cents.
Madam City Attorney.
So I looked at the staff report, and the staff report refers to it as logo 2. However, it says for marketing purposes, and the logo is attached, the old one and the new one. And the attachment to the staff report clearly has the 2 logos, so the member of public would not be confused. If somebody wanted to comment on it, they would have known it's the seal as part of the marketing efforts and logo of the city, because the staff report clearly attaches the 2 options, and it's very clear that it's going to be discussed. So I'm comfortable with the council proceeding. If you want to continue it and have a staff report that says seal, you could, but it's not necessary.
Mr. City Manager, we are going to be bringing back the logo also, right?
Marketing logos, yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's what I thought. Councilman Rojas, any comments?
Yes, so the second one, the one that we're looking at right now, I do agree that the diamond needs to be more defined so that when we're looking right at it, we do know that is a diamond. Now, if it's something that would be embossed, that might make a difference as well. So if we could see that,
Okay.
where it's a little bit raised. Yes, but that's it. But I like it. I like the one that we're looking at right now.
We have 2 council members saying that we should do something that clearly defines a diamond, so we could bring this back. I know we wanted to have it ready for the state of the city. The meeting, yeah, we have another meeting. I know he's ordering up, we're ordering giveaways and things like that. But I think we could still do it with a little rush. And if necessary, because you are on a time frame, I would not be opposed to having a special meeting because we're on the time schedule. So address the city managers, Cedric Hicks and the councilwoman's concern. Therefore, you'd have 3 options. Councilman Deere, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I just want a clarification. So you want us to vote on the city seal?
You're not voting tonight.
Yeah.
It's coming back.
Okay, so it's going to be continued. And I'd like the staff report to be accurate because you're an attorney and I don't see anything in here about the city seal. Do you? Sonny? Well, you're saying it's clear. Obviously no offense, but it's clear as mud. It's not clear at all. There's
Like I
nothing
said,
in
the
here about
Brown
the
Act-
city seal. I think we should adjust the city seal, but we have to do it legally and properly. That's the problem with the city of Carson. We break the rules, we bend the rules, and we shouldn't be doing that. We're setting a bad example for our residents when the city government doesn't follow our own rules. And parliamentary procedure clearly says it has to be on the agenda for you to vote on it. So since we're not voting tonight, I'm satisfied. Bringing it back makes sense, but just do it correctly and not politically. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam City Attorney. If we were going to vote on this tonight, I would follow your lead. You are our city attorney, and I would follow your lead. That's what you get paid for. We are bringing it back, not because it was not posted properly. We're bringing it back because 2 of my colleagues had some concerns that we're going to address. And if necessary, I'd like you to let us know, because I know you're on your critical path. The state of the city is on the 20th of March, and you have some timelines that you'd like to meet. So make it loud and clear. Whatever my city attorney had said, what she ruled on, that's what we were going to do. So this item will be continued. Sunny, should I say to a special meeting or date?
If you're continuing this item to a special meeting, you can say we're continuing this item to, and pick the date and announce what date that is. Do you know what date?
I
you're gonna
don't.
do? So you should decide that if you want to continue it tonight. Unless you just want to call a special meeting. You
Okay,
don't have to continue it.
we'll continue the item. If I need to do so, I will. But this item will be continued. Thank you.
To the first meeting in March.
First meeting in March.
And Madam Mayor, also I'd like to express my recommendation would be the one with the logos on each side.
Okay, we're going to bring them all back, and at that time, we will make a decision.
Okay, very good.
That'll be the first meeting in March, okay? Okay,
Very good. Okay, that makes sense.
thank you. MPT has to leave, and now we'll go back to presentations. Welcome and introductions of our new president, Chief Executive Officer of Carson Chamber of Commerce, Leah Skinner. Are you here, Miss?
Good evening, Madam Mayor.
How are you?
Members.
This is Leah Skinner. I'm Mike Stewart, Vice Chair of the Carson Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to introduce Leah Skinner, a newly appointed CEO in Carson Chamber of Commerce President. She brings a wealth of knowledge and information. She's been involved with, thank you. I'll bring this up to me. She's been involved for the last 15 years in organizations and bringing them forward to certain goals of promoting good business sense. She's completed the Western Association of Chamber Executives, WACE Academy. She's here to work with us as we showcase Carson, as we bring sustainable growth to the South Bay in this area. She's here to bring unity to our city, so in our effort of bringing sustainable businesses and economic development, which we will have, working collegially in unifying the business community, the churches, the academic community, to work forward for our city to grow and develop. This is Leah Skinner. She'll say a few words. And I have representatives of our chamber, board, and membership. Please stand up. As you know these faces are very familiar.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, all right. And we have Leah and Lena, and we also have another young man named Shinabu Obeju. He wants to be one of our ambassadors. So we're going to be seeing that young man going as a youth person, going around and helping the businesses. It's called Connect. And what we're doing today is Carson Connect. We're connecting, putting our hands out and working with you. Leah, here you go.
Welcome, Leah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, just to reiterate, I have been working as a chamber professional for over 15 years. I served as the executive director for the Laverne Chamber of Commerce and the Placentia Chamber of Commerce. I also served as the membership director for the Fullerton Chamber of Commerce. WACE Academy is a 3-year program over 100 hours that I just completed and is the only program in the nation that's specific to chamber management. And very proudly got to walk with my class 2 weeks ago in February in Vegas.
All right.
Yes.
So Carson is an exciting city. It's very unique to the other cities that I've worked for, which have been predominantly bedroom cities. So this community offers lots of new opportunities, and I'm very much looking forward to working with all of you.
Thank you. Well,
What we're going to do is just say, showcase Carson. Thank you.
welcome, Leah. And we've already met and broke in a little bit. And we look forward to working with you on our State of the City address. Thank you. Next, we'll have a presentation of the City of Carson Small Business Growth Academy by David Ochi, Executive Director of the Innovation Incubator at Cal State Dominguez Hills. I am so proud of this program. What is it, 2 years now, David?
Even longer.
Has it been longer than that?
No, time flies.
This was one of our initiatives it has been. We started 4 years ago, to come to think of it. It was one of the 8 initiatives that I had brought forward to the city, and I met with the representatives of Cal State Dominguez Hills, my alma mater, and David took the helm and has done, this is our third class that's graduating.
You're close. It's the 5th.
Is it the fifth?
I'm telling you, time flies.
I've been at every graduation. Wow. So I'm just so excited that we had 5 years of success. And I just want to thank you personally for really taking this, because we didn't know which direction it was going to go. And it's just growing by leaps and bounds. And it's just a pleasure to go to the graduations and see the students there giving their presentation on their small businesses. Some of them are young, some are middle-aged, and some are older, but it's just a great program. And I want to thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, Madam Mayor and esteemed members of the council. It's my honor to again stand here with in front of you with a success story for our 5th cohort that completed in the fall. We're very excited to have had a new crop come through. It brings the total to 105 businesses.
Wow.
That have gone through the program and successfully completed it. I wish I could say we were the ones doing the work. The reality is, the businesses are the ones that show up on Friday morning and work their way through. So we're very proud of them. We're very appreciative of the support of the city and the council and the mayor and all the work that all of you do to provide this kind of vital education to the community. Not every council gets to put their weight and their might behind a local university and the businesses that are in their city to make a difference. And the work you guys do, it is making a difference. If you walk into the stores or visit the businesses that have been through this program, you'll see a few things. One, you'll see a smile on their face. You'll see proud certificates from the city hanging on their walls, congratulating them. You'll see each other's business cards and flyers up promoting each other's businesses, showing a sense of community and collaboration that you really don't find in a lot of places. So the program's done well. It continues to grow with your support. We have our next cohort starting in a month or so, a little less. March 7th will be the next cohort beginning. It's open, as you know, to all of the businesses that are categorized as small businesses in the city of Carson. If anyone's interested, if the council or a mayor know of people who might be interested, of course, they're always welcome to visit the website. It's incubator.csudh.edu/ a confusing little acronym, CC, stands for City of Carson, Small Business, right? SBGA. So CCSBGA. And what we'd love to have people do is we'd love to fill the house again and have a great opportunity to showcase the next. I will mention right before I bring up some of the esteemed members of this class that just came through, we're very excited about the future opportunity to really begin collaborations more. JR has been instrumental in connecting us with new parts of the city to help expand small business support and recognition, thinking about the Shop Small initiatives, festivals and expos around small business, and really centering that around the graduates of this program so that we can really showcase a lot of the work that's been done. So thank you to JR in particular for all of his work and all of his team that's made it wonderful. And again, thank you to the mayor and the council for all of your support. And with your permission, I'd love to allow them a second to come and say a word or two.
I'm gonna ask my colleagues to join us down at the podium because we have some certificates. Captain Norman, I have not forgotten about you. Okay, so I still want you to stay around for your presentation. I will do it after the item number 9, okay? I mean, it's only 2 more items that we need to do. So could you join me down at the podium to my colleagues?
Yeah, come on up. Would you like them to say a word or two? There's a
Yes.
handful here.
Uh-huh.
Please.
Oh, okay, each one of you gonna do a presentation? Well,
Go for it.
Hi, I'm Vonda Morris.
hey, Vonda.
Hi, everybody. I took the class. I was fortunate to take the class. I started a business where I patented something, and I'm not normally a entrepreneur. I'm a makeup artist in the film industry. But this class allowed me to understand where I needed to take this patent that I created, that I own, and how to work on getting it out there and taking my idea and expanding it. So I think that this is a great opportunity for everyone in Carson, especially growing up here. And to be able, I walked by the school and I was like, I have this pad, let me go in here and find out what I could do with it. And this came up, and fortunately that my last day or the presentation of the class was, so this is the first time I'm out since then. And I just think that it was a great opportunity. And I think that the city of Carson should definitely promote this, and it should be in your weekly or monthly booklet so people in Carson can know that this is available to them.
Thank you, Vonda, and it's so good seeing you. You look awesome. Thank you.
Hello, City of Carson, Madam Mayor. I just want to thank everyone because being an alum of Cal State Dominguez, I never knew that this was an opportunity. I did have an entrepreneurial spirit leaving school, and so getting the opportunity to come into an incubator course where I was able to both develop my business as a startup and have it to grow, it was a great opportunity. We currently operate a skincare line, and we're looking to expand into more facial care. We do body and hair care, and mostly for minority communities. So we want to make sure that we're able to reach Black and brown people and speak to our skin and our hair care and things like that, and make sure that it's highlighted. So giving us the opportunity to really grow access to grants, loans, different education on how we are able to expand our business, even though it's out there in the public, it's not as easily accessible as people think it is. So this opportunity was great and tremendous, and we just want to thank you for that. And we hope that it's able to grow even more past the 105 businesses that it's already impacted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, my name is Diamond Amenity. I am a wig designer and a weave specialist. I'm from Inglewood, but I love Carson. Like, the business is good, and I really appreciate this opportunity. I'm self-taught for most of it, but this opportunity gave me a chance to go back to college, network, and it taught me something, I didn't know. So I am appreciative of this opportunity, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Candace Arnold. I am the owner of Candace J. Arnold Events. I actually assist my clients in achieving great events seamlessly with my assistance. So I appreciate the opportunity to be able to stand before you today. The incubator was a great program. Someone who was an alumni recommended it to me, and then I took it, and now I have passed the torch to other small business owners, hoping that they'll be a part of it as well. And as the growth happens with the incubator with David, I actually look forward to walking alongside him to actually help him with some of those processes in expanding his vision. So I appreciate just the opportunity to be that you guys have given us that support behind us as small business, because it is difficult out here. But with the support of the incubator program with David as one of the visionaries, it really, really gives us a step up to grow our businesses and to grow our businesses well. So thank you again for the opportunity to be able to be a part of the program.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brandy Lewin, CEO of Murdoch Community and Care Services, Inc. I want to take the opportunity to express my gratitude for the partnership between the City of Carson and Cal State Dominguez Hills, particularly through the Innovative Incubator Program. This innovative initiative provides business owners like myself with the opportunity to enhance our business acumen, sharpen our skills, gain valuable exposure, and build relationships. Through this program, I have received mentorship, which has led to meaningful connections. One of those connections is here tonight, who actually went through your program before, Miss Cynthia Vodanovich, I hope I said that right, who traveled quite a distance to support this meeting. Cynthia also completed the program, and together we are working on ways to improve the quality of life for individuals with special needs and developmental disabilities. One of the initiatives you are aware of is the Disabilities Commission within our city, and Cynthia works with bringing BIIs, which are behavioral intervention individuals into the schools. So I sincerely appreciate the city's investment in its residents, and I mean that, and look forward to continuing to collaborate on impactful initiatives that benefit our city. Thank you for your time and continued support.
Thank you. Don't go anywhere, students. We have certificates for you. We're going to come down. My colleague's going to come down to the podium.
Again, as you guys come up, thank you again for this wonderful support that you offer. We couldn't do it without you, and we look forward to the continued partnership.
She's the lady. She's the happy camera. Back here. Yep. Talk people to the back. And we'll slide out. Usually it's right in front of here, but I don't know what to do.
Joe, give me my mic. Hello? Okay, I'm just going to... You know I always forget it. Thank you. The certificates read the same. There are a certificate from the City of Carson, California, presents a certificate of achievement to the first person is Natasha Lewis, Honeybee Nye. All right. LLC, in recognition of your successful completion of the City of Carson's Small Business Growth Academy. May your business continue to grow and enhance the Carson community. Best wishes on all your future endeavors is dated today, February 18, signed by your mayor, that's me, Lila Davis Holmes, Mayor Pro Tem Jawan Hilton, who had to leave, Councilman Cedric Hicks to my left, Councilman Jim Deere to my left, and our Councilwoman Arlene Rojas. Natasha. Patricia Dupree and Associates. Where's Patricia? Candace Arnold.
That's you. That's me.
Diamond McCoy. Edgar Oli. Ed here. Star Incorporated, Andrea Ellis. Is she here? I didn't hear. And my girl, she has gone through a lot. Yes. I want you to keep her in your prayers. She is a warrior. A warrior. Oh, no, not I. I will survive. So she is a sweetheart. Vonda K. Morris. Dion Thomas. Brandy. Where's Brandy? That's Brandy Lewis. Ewan. I read this too fast. Let's give a round of applause to all the graduates of our Small Business Academy. Job well done. 5 years. Didn't know what we were getting into when we started this program, but 100 and how many, David? 105. We didn't have any. Our first class had 35 students. 13. Was it 13? Close, 8. Well, I'm giving you a benefit of the doubt. Only 8 students were there. I was counting myself, I guess. But it has grown, and we're going to keep this program going because it came because myself and this council felt it was important for us to do something for our small businesses here in the city of Carson. And you have cities that always talk about small business, and they're the lifeline of our community, but we put our money where our mouth is. And this was an initiative, it was a brainchild that I had when I was elected mayor 4 years ago, and I said, we got to do something. This entire city council supported that initiative and this effort, and today is what you see. Yes, we can. Yes, we can, and yes, we did, and yes, we're going to continue to do that. Right, Councilwoman? Right, Councilman? Yes. Ooh, look. Yeah. So let's do a quick photo. There. Next, we have a present, thank you, but presented by our councilwoman. Oh, it's me? Yeah, we'll do this one. Ooh, it's hard to say goodbye. Miss Mendel, come on down. Come on down. She called me last week before she made the announcement. But tonight we want to take a moment to recognize you and celebrate an incredible leader who has dedicated her time, energy, and passion to making a lasting impact on our community. Dana Mendel has been an integral part of the Boys and Girls Club of Carson, working around the clock, and she does, to uplift and empower those she serves. Her leadership, vision, and dedication have left a profound mark. And while we are sad to see her go, we know that she will continue the great things in her new role. She has a new role. She's elevated as Executive Director of the Wilmington YMCA. Executive Director. It all started right here. Dana, on behalf of the entire city of Carson, we thank you for your service and for being such an inspiring advocate for our kids. I just enjoyed working with her. I had the opportunity of meeting her when she worked for Assemblyman Mike Gibson, and from the time I met her, I was always impressed by her can-do attitude. You don't find that in everyone. She has this can-do attitude. And she'd call me and said, we need some help over here, and invite us out to all of her events. You're going to be missed. You're going to be missed. I like the relation. I love the relationship that we formed during your tenure. It's only, what, 2.5, 3 years? 3 years she's been there. But she has done an outstanding job in being an advocate for the kids in our community, and especially those with the Boys and Girls Club. And I just want to say I wish you success. Please keep in touch. Don't be a stranger. Carson is your home. And we have a certificate presented to you in recognition of this significant milestone in your career as the new Executive Director of the Wilmington YMCA. Your years of dedicated service as the Director of Strategic Partnerships at the Boys and Girls Club of Carson have been exemplary. May you continue to inspire, innovate, and lead with the same enthusiasm, determination that has defined your career. Congratulations, and wishing you all the success in your new role. It's dated today, February 18th, presented by your mayor and the members of the Carson City Council. Thank you. Few words.
Yeah. Thank you all so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you for welcoming me back to the city of Carson. This is my second go around in the community, and it definitely always feels like home. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for answering my calls, my emails, coming out to all of the events. Thank you to the departments that I've also hounded for partnerships and for opportunities, but I think we all did it for the kids, for the love of our future, and to make sure that they have the same opportunities that any other zip code has. And so thank you for allowing me to do that. And I'm just down the street, so I'll be coming by and making my purchases and visiting here and there. So thank you again for opening the doors to Carson.
Thank you. Congratulations. Good luck. You're going to be great. The next is a plaque, a proclamation. What is this next one? Dominican Republic by a councilwoman.
Thank you. And yes, we are, the month of February is, yeah, you can hold it, celebrating our Dominican Republic. So this year, we are honoring Quisqueya La Bella Foundation. Quisqueya La Bella is a phrase deeply rooted in the Dominican Republic identity and pride. Quisqueya is one of the indigenous Taino names for the island of Hispaniola, meaning mother of all lands, the beautiful. La Bella translates to the beautiful, emphasizing the nation's natural beauty, rich culture, and vibrant heritage. The Quisqueya La Bella Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to celebrating and preserving the richness of Dominican culture while fostering unity among Latino communities. Through cultural events, educational initiatives, and community-driven projects, the foundation highlights the traditions, history, and contributions of the Dominican Republic. By collaborating with our Latino cultures, Quisqueya La Bella aims to create a space for cultural exchange, mutual growth, and empowerment. Their program promotes education, heritage awareness, and social development, ensuring that Latino communities can thrive together while honoring their diverse background. So we have here Marisol come up and introduce the Dominican Republic culture. Thank you. This is, again, you're here every year. We thank you for supporting us here in the city of Carson. And the mayor has it right here. Let me read it. Okay, it says Dominican Republic Independence Day on February 27th, 2025. Why don't you hold that? I've got this one here. Yes. I don't have my glasses to read that small. Okay. Whereas after years of covert planning, a group known as La Trinitaria seized the fortress of Puerto del Conde in the city of Santo Domingo, and the Dominican War of Independence began. Whereas much of what is now the Dominican Republic had been de facto autonomous in the early 1800s, with the Spanish occupied by Napoleon's invasion and the Haitians to the west fighting of their French colonizers. And whereas heavily influenced and encouraged by Haiti, which has achieved independence in 1804, the Dominicans declared independence as the Republic of Spanish Haiti in 1821. Despite being nominally free, the less wealthy and less densely populated half of the island came under the control of Haiti and entered into formal union with its neighbor in 1822. Whereas, though Haiti had been only the second European colony in the Americas to achieve independence, and its revolution constituted one of the largest and most important slave revolts in all history, Dominican Republic suffered under Haiti rule. Through the two were nominally united, the western half of the island was clearly where the political influence lay and the crippling debts imposed on Haiti by the French. In 1838, 3 educated and enlightened Dominicans named Juan Pablo Duarte, Ramon Matias Mella, and Francisco del Rosario Sanchez founded a resistance organization. They named the organization La Trinitaria due to their decision to divide into 3 smaller cells, each of which would operate with almost no knowledge of what the other cells were doing. On February 27, 1844, La Trinitaria was forced to make a move. Though Duarte was away on mainland, the recently liberated people of Colombia and Venezuela, La Trinitaria, received a tip that the Haitian government had been made aware of their activities. La Trinitaria gathered roughly 100 men and stormed the Puerto del Conde, forcing the Haitian out of Santo Domingo. Sanchez fired a cannon shot from the fort and raised the blue, red, and white flag of the Dominican Republic right there. Still flies over the country today. Whereas over the next decade, after 1844, the nations of Haiti and Dominican Republic were periodically at war, each invading the other in response to previous invasions. The storming of the Puerto del Conde, however, represented a turning point in the history of the nations that had long been subjugated first to the Spanish and then to its Haitian neighbors. So therefore, the mayor and the city council do recognize Dominican Republic Independence Day on February 27, 2025. We are honored to have you again. Thank you. We do have a special, in addition to honoring Dominican Republic, we have a special family that's here tonight. The surviving family of one of our previous recipients, Luis Brito, who lost his battle to cancer just over a month ago. And his family is here. And yes, and so we'd like you to, in español, por favor. ¿Sí? ¿Verdad? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mayor and Council Member. El señor Luis Brito fue uno de nuestros mejores miembros que apoyaron siempre a la comunidad dominicana, y para nosotros hoy es un honor dedicarle este tributo a sus hijos que están aquí acompañándonos hoy. Y para nosotros ha sido siempre un honor recibir este reconocimiento de ustedes, celebrando el Día del Dominicano en Los Ángeles y también la independencia de República Dominicana. Y por eso mismo hoy estamos rendiéndole homenaje al señor Luis Brito, que desgraciadamente el año pasado murió y nos dejó. Así que aquí están sus hijos, a Lius, a Lismeli. ¿Quieren decir algo por su papá? Okay, that's it.
Él fuera buena persona y yo la amo con todo mi corazón. Yo quería que él quedaba conmigo, pero él no podía.
And this is a certificate from the city of Carson, California, in loving memory of Luis Andres Brito Juarez, in whose memory the city council did adjourn in tribute and reverence on January 21st. It's signed by the entire city council. And we just want to let you know we feel your pain and you have a family here.
Thank you so much. En nombre de Luis Brito, quiero agradecerles a todos por el apoyo que le han dado a Luis. Yo sé que desde el cielo él está muy contento y agradecido por todo este cariño que tienen hacia él. Muchas gracias por todo.
She just said that she wanted to thank everyone for all for being doing this for Luis Brito today, and for all the caring that you have been showing to him. I also wanted to introduce you some of the special guests that are here today with us. I'm gonna start with the representative from the Dominican Consulate. Could you please stand? Is Laura Victoriano and Eileen Capellan. And also the CEO and president of the Dominican Chamber of Commerce here in Los Angeles, Clara Tavares. And the producer of the program, Gustavo Septimo. He has been our godfather for Dominican community all these years.
Thank you. Mr. Gusto?
Thank you so much for your support always for the Dominican community.
Okay.
That's okay.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to stay with you. It's a very special moment. Yeah, but I'm glad your people is here now for receive this reconocimiento, these awards. Thank you very much. I am from Guatemala. I love the people from Republic Dominicana.
Okay. Ready?
Counselor, come over here, sweetheart.
Well, thank you. We just want to say thank you to all the Dominican people who every day wake up and work for the city, for their neighborhoods, and also for the state. We are here to represent them and to help them to be a better citizen, but also we are really glad to count with that county that help them to be integrated and elevate their lives here and all over the state. So thank you very much. And also we want to thank the labor that every person here does for our community, but especially for the foundation, Quisqueya La Bella, which is doing a great job for our people here and also supporting people like Luis, who was a great person and was always taking care of the community and also his family. I know that you miss him a lot and he will be so proud of you if he were here. So for us, it's a really special moment to see families like yours being part of this community as immigrants, as people doing great things here, and we are here to support you too. Thank you.
Would you like to say something? Are you good? Okay.
Take a quick photo. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And as we make our way back to the dais, Captain. Come on down, Captain. Hi, my cat.
Le voy a poner la otra cámara.
How is our captain this evening? And thank you for being patient with us.
No problem, no problem. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, so just wanted to bring you up to date on some of the things that we have going on here at the Carson Sheriff Station. I appreciate your honoring our two deputies on the last council meeting, Deputy Quinn Alcanis and Nicholas Martinez. They really did appreciate you all acknowledging their efforts during the Eden and Palisades fires. On a couple of the events that we attended during the last couple weeks are we attended a civilian advisory committee meeting, and also in attendance was the Carson Station Community Relations, the County Oversight Commission, the COC, the host team, and the LA County Public Health Department. Addressed were numerous topics related to homelessness, RVs, street vendors, crime trends, and street and crime statistics. On Thursday, February 6th, we participated in a class run, a colors run that honored Deputy Daniel Okamoto. Deputy Okamoto was a former deputy explorer here at Carson Station prior to becoming a deputy sheriff. He was tragically passed away as a result of a vehicle collision. And on Thursday, February 6th, we also had hosted a coffee with the deputy event at Ritual Coffee Shop right here in the city of Carson. We were able to meet and discuss many businesses and concerns that actually exist within the area of Carson, and address some of the city residents' concerns. On Tuesday, February 11th, I met with Public Safety Director Nora Garcia, and we discussed some of the vandalism and vandalism and thefts that's occurring at some of the parks that are currently under construction, Carriage Crest, Forcia, and Dominguez Park. We are currently initiating having our SAL teams, our parks teams, and our patrol deputies conduct early morning patrol treks to try to mitigate any criminal activity there. I attended the 29th annual I Am a Rising Star hosted by the Human Relations Commission. It's always a pleasure of mine to be in the presence of our young folks and encourage and inspire them to move forward in their collective educational careers. Here recently, we had a pretty traumatic deputy-involved traffic collision that happened on February 16th at Central and Helmick Street here in the city of Carson. Our deputy was taken into emergency, sustained a severe head injury, however, no broken bones. He'll be out for a while, mending after that collision. I'd like to also address a couple of criminal stats that I have that's happening here in the city of Carson. We have year-to-date a decrease in residential burglaries at about 15.7%, a decrease in aggravated assaults here in the city of Carson at about 9%. We have a slight increase in larceny thefts, and as we discussed previously, that's generally contributed to our snatch and grabs, that it is going down. However, it is a slight uptick at 7.9%. Also, a decrease in grand theft autos, and that is at about 12.2%. That's actually lower than the last time we actually ran numbers. So we're actually going down as far as GTAs are concerned. Overall, here in Carson, the Part 1 crimes are down at about 5.5%. Do you have any questions?
Thank you for that report. I know I called you about the theft up on North Carson. There's been an increase around the Termont area. I did share that with you. And I did send you a picture.
Yes.
Of that. And then I also want to thank you for getting involved in the break-ins at our strip mall on Carson Street. The tenants were very happy. They were reluctant to make the report.
Yes.
So now they're more comfortable because there's one shop has been broken into 3 times already. So
on that note, what I will say that we have upcoming is we're actually designing what we look at is the type of neighborhood watch program for businesses, so that we're actually slated to meet with the businesses at the University and Avalon Strip Mall, because we've had some issues there, and we want to make sure that we mitigate that so that you all can move forward in your efforts. But that's upcoming as far as this week, and then they're forward with some of the other strip malls here in Carson.
Thank you. Any comments from my colleagues?
Thanking them for what they do. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Glad
you,
to be back.
Captain. And again, thank you for being patient with us this evening.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Thank you. Next, we have approval of the minutes.
Madam Mayor, there's oral communications.
Oh, I was looking for that. There it is. I crossed it out. All communications on matters listed on the agenda.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There are 3 comment cards. One of them is for agenda item number 26. The other 2 are non-agendized items.
Item number 26.
Lawrence Flinton for agenda item number 26.
Well, hello, Mr. Flinton. How are you?
Hello, Madam Mayor. How are you?
I'm good.
Congratulations, by the way.
Good evening, sir. You'll have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Councilwoman Arlene Rojas, and the entire City Council. I want to begin expressing my sincere gratitude to Councilwoman Rojas for appointing me to the Public Safety Commission. It's an honor to serve our community in this capacity, and I'm committed to working towards initiatives that enhance the safety and well-being of our residents. I also want to extend my appreciation to the City Council for considering this ordinance. Your dedication to addressing this important issue that impacts our city is truly commendable. I brought this ordinance, not my author, I didn't author it, it's from another city, to the council about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years now. It really is dear to my heart since I come from that world. I'm an aftermarket parts retailer, and it actually is a problem in our city. And I'm finally glad that the city is taking this ordinance serious, because street takeovers and that whole genre of problem is really an issue in the city of Carson. And I want to just thank you very much.
Thank you. And whenever you have an idea or a solution or a suggestion, feel free to bring it before the City Council and your Public Safety Commission.
We're working it through that, ma'am.
Okay.
But I want to say thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How many do you have for non-agendized too?
2, Madam Mayor.
Okay, we'll hear from those 2 people. And Councilman Hicks, I have to step away for a minute.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Brandy Lewin. Good evening, Brandy. You'll have
Good
3
evening,
minutes.
Dr. Kalia Bradshaw. Thank you very much. Good evening, Council, to our mayor in her absence and Mayor Pro Tem in his absence. Councilman, I like saying my councilman, Cedric Hicks, Councilman Jim Deere, and Councilwoman Arlene Rojas. I appreciate the opportunity to speak before you this evening and to express my gratitude for your continued support regarding the establishment of a Disabilities Commission. As requested by Mayor Lula Davis Holmes, Luce, who is here, and I met with the Human Relations Commission on February 12th, and I'm pleased to report that it was a highly productive meeting. I want to commend the commissioners for their dedication and the meaningful work they are doing. They not only engaged thoughtfully in our discussion, but also extended an invitation to the Rising Stars Luncheon this past Saturday. It was an exceptional event celebrating the next generation of leaders in our city. During our meeting, we presented a PowerPoint outlining key points from the strategic plan that I previously shared with you, City Manager David Roberts. And the Human Relations Commission immediately understood the vision and expressed support, though there were some concerns regarding the potential workload. I will allow the staff report to provide more details on that. Additionally, they suggested waiting for input from commissioners who were unable to attend the meeting. Another key point raised was whether this initiative had been presented to other commissions. Given that the strategic plan emphasizes a citywide approach, there was a discussion about whether aspects of the initiative could be incorporated into existing commissions. While we are open to exploring that option, I also want to propose the possibility of forming a disabilities committee, as you suggested, Councilman Deere, a smaller working group to assess the specific needs and framework before moving forward with the full commission. I recognize that staffing and resources are always of consideration, and we greatly appreciate the work of city staff. I firmly believe that a standalone commission is essential due to the unique needs of individuals impacted by disabilities. If we are inviting these individuals to serve, it's important to ensure that the workload is manageable and that their voices remain central rather than being folded into broader commission agendas. Again, thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to receiving the staff report and the final decision on this matter. Lee, I want to thank you for all of your hard work and your dedication in making this come together, along with Brian, field representatives for Councilman Hicks and Councilman Jim Deere. I am confident that the need for this initiative is clear, and I trust that together we will find the best path to serve our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Luz. Nice to see you again. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council members. Just following what Branda reported, yes, we did meet with the commission, and they will have their full report to you when they're ready. I just wanted to say, Madam Mayor, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity, for giving me the opportunity to go and meet with the commission. After talking with them, I will not be applying for that seat position. I do hope that eventually we do have some form of committee. I would love to form that committee, eventually a commission perhaps, but I definitely want to reiterate what Brandy said and follow up on that, that I love what the work that is being done in the Human Relations Commission. I am very much aware of my bandwidth and what I can accomplish, and having to be able to do a deep dive into the disabilities community here in Carson. It would be a lot for me to try to do both disability advocacy and the good work that's being done in the HR Commission. So I hope that eventually we do move toward a committee and then hopefully a commission. But in the meantime, I look forward to hearing back from that commission. And as Brandy said, they recommended that we talk to other commissions as well to see how we can make this all work. And I look forward to continually working with Madam Mayor and with the council to make this come together to a good fruition for the sake of all of our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next is, that's it, Madam City Clerk, just the two?
Yes, Madam Mayor, that completes public comment.
Public comment. Approval of the minutes.
Move approval, Madam Mayor.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Please cast your vote.
Okay, Madam Mayor, the vote is 4 and 1 absent.
Thank you. Next is the consent calendar, items 10 through 22.
Move approval, Madam Mayor, of consent calendar.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Would anyone like to pull an item?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
It's item number 21 and 22.
Anyone else? The consent calendar has been moved and properly second. We'll approve all the items except items number 21 and 22. Please cast your vote.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Also, if it pleases the council, item number 12, though it is I believe a consent item, we did want to bring up and highlight that particular aspect, if that's okay with you all.
Madam Mayor, I'll
because
pull it off
deals with
so he can give his.
just because it has to deal with the budget mid-year.
Okay. We're going to approve the consent calendar with exceptions of item number 12, 21, and 22. Cast your vote.
Madam Mayor, the motion carries with 1 absence.
Item number 12. Mr. City Manager.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. So item number 12 has to do with our mid-year budget. And so we were going to have, though it's a receive and file report, just wanted to give a brief presentation from our finance director to give you all kind of an update of where we are from that perspective. And so with that being said, I'll have our director, Mr. Will Jefferson, just to provide a brief update and quick presentation here. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Today I'll be reporting on the mid-year budget for fiscal year 24-25. Just as case in point, to let you know that this data has been compulated from July 1st to December 31st, which would be the midway of the mid-year. This first slide is showing our fiscal year 24-25 general fund balance. As of today, the fiscal year 23-24 data that you're seeing has been audited by Vasquez and Company, which gave a presentation at our prior council meeting, the last one that we had. As you can see, the trend from fiscal year 19-20 up until fiscal year 23-24, we have grown from 42 million to 219.7 million. Caveat, the city manager did make a mention last council meeting that we did drop to 219, but we wanted to make sure that it was considered that we took on a lot of projects that fiscal year, which the general fund balance helped to support, which was $32 million in street projects. We also had $5 million in cameras, and we also had internet placed in a park. So if those items wouldn't have taken place, it would have been more, but because the fund balance was so strong, the mayor and the council wanted to get those projects done. So even though it looks as a dip in the fund balance, is really not. It would have been more if it wasn't for us doing those projects which were needed around the city. The next slide shows our...
Well, just a second. I think we need to give ourselves a round of applause here.
Definitely.
You guys see that balance, 219 million? That's unprecedented and it's unheard of. So just watch it grow. I think I took over in 2020 as the mayor. And it's been growing steadily. So thank you so much for that chart. Warms my heart.
The next chart will show the fiscal year 24-25 mid-year revenue by categories. So this fiscal year, we brought the budget June 18th to council, and it was approved. And our proposed budget for our adopted revenues was $140 million. As of December 31st, we've collected $49 million, or 35%. And the reason for the slowness, I would say, is that we gain more of our revenues around the third and the fourth quarter. So I'm going to show you the next slide to illustrate how if you can see the same thing happened in 23-24, where our adopted budget was $121.9 million. We collected $43.6 million at mid-year, which was 36%. But as you can see, the end of year actuals was actually $144 million. So we collected $118 million of our revenue last year. So I just want to show that slide to show how the revenue does move slow in the first half of the year. But as you can reference to last year, it does grow towards the third and fourth quarter. So, and also I'll go back to show you that last year we had $123 million proposed to collect. This year is $140 million. Now we collected $49 million compared to last year we collected $43 million. So we're actually $6 million above where we were last year. So again, we just would like to show that these revenues do come in, but they do tend to come in around the third or fourth quarter. The next slide is just a breakdown of the sales tax. The sales tax that we collected so far was 13.1 million. And what comprises of that is mainly business and industries. They are the bulk of the collections of sales tax, followed by autos and transportation, followed by state and county pools, which our discussions with HDL, our state and county pools have been gradually going up because of the income or the revenue that the city of Carson has been taking in, which is allowing us to have a bigger pool access for us to get greater revenue shares. The fourth one is the general consumer goods, and we go all the way down to the last one being the food and drugs. We also take that same chart and we show the breakdown of the Measure K, the source of breakdown. Again, your business and industries are your leading contributor, followed by your auto and transportation, and all the way down to your food and drugs, which is the minimum that's bringing in the revenue. The next slide just shows how we compare from fiscal year 2023 to 24. As you can see, fiscal year 24, 25, we've outpaced the prior year in every category except for TOT. We're equal with TOT. So you can constantly see that the revenue, we are collecting more revenue than we collected last year. And we hope, as we're projecting, that momentum will keep swinging in our future years where we continue to see our revenue grow. The next slide is where I show our mid-year expenditures. Again, this is based upon the first half of the year from July to December 31st. As you can see, we had an adopted budget of $139 million. It has been revised for projects to $140 million. Year-to-date actual spend is $56.6 million, and we have encumbrances of $27 million. Now, in this, and we've used 40% of our budget. What I would like to point out is that the percentage that's being used is just based upon our actuals. But when I have a chart, not a chart that's next to me where we have 27 million, like I said, in encumbrances. If you add those 27 millions of encumbrances into this, we'll be at 60%. So I have been, me and my colleagues, other directors, we have been in constant contact, and we've all been monitoring our budget to ensure that we do come in under budget, and we do a lot of talking and making sure that we communicate with each other on the expenses. Like I said, the encumbrances are 27 million, so those are a lot of expenses that are already out there. So we still anticipate coming in under budget for the fiscal year 24-25. The next slide is our vacancy rate. As you can see, it's broken down by department. We have the city has a total of 385 full-time employees. We have 353 positions filled, 32 vacancies, 8% vacancy rate. Again, this report is from July 1st to December 31st, so we have had some additions and some subtractions since then, but just as a benchmark or a screenshot, right now we're at a vacancy rate of 8%. The mid-year request that we are asking council to approve, we have $5 million that we're requesting from our IT department to start phase 1 of the citywide municipal fiber optic network program. They're requesting $5 million to get phase 1 started on that. Public safety is requesting 1.2, requesting funds for amendments 1, number 1 of turbo data equipment for staff, building security, and other items just to make them whole for the fiscal year. The third request is from Public Works Department of $5 million. They're requesting funding to continue with the citywide pavement project for the remainder of the fiscal year. And our final request is $100,000, requesting the return of funding given to the Public Works Department for Division Secretary position to continue the funding for the current position of our senior clerk, which was to be reclassed. So those are only the 4 mid-year requests that we're asking, which comes to about $11.2 million. One more thing that I want to point out, and this will conclude my report, is we wanted to bring the council our fiscal year 25-26 future requests. As we're geared up now, getting together our budget process for year 25-26. Our Innovation, Sustainability, and Performance Management team, our ISPM as they're called, is requesting to rename the department to Innovation and Sustainability. This rebranding will better reflect the department's core values and focus on a thriving and a sustainable future. Through the rebranding, the department is proposing launching its first ever multimedia division, tasked with creating and distributing original programming across our cable network and digital platforms. This division will enhance public outreach, ensure transparency, and keep residents engaged with important updates, service, and events. Through the rebranding and strategic awareness, the multimedia division will elevate Carson's profile, attract businesses, and unite our community. And that concludes our mid-year report.
I'm trying to see where that is on the agenda. What I have is to approve your signature, your signing. for number
Madam
4.
Mayor?
Yes.
Just, my apologies for interrupting, but just for a point of clarification, the right item was announced, but the incorrect number was stated. The mid-year report is item 10,
Oh,
not item 12.
Yeah, I was
Madam Mayor, just to clarify as well, on item 10, there's actually two recommendations. One is receive and file the report, and number 2 is to adopt the resolution that makes the adjustments to the budget.
Okay, I was kept reading number 12. So. And did we want to pull item 12 also? No, I want to.
No, and I stated item 12, and I meant item number 10. My apologies.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve item 10 because item 10 is the item that the staff report is about if the city attorney feels it is legally proper to do it that way. Even though it was passed with the consent calendar already.
We'll just pull the item number.
And 12 wasn't.
10, I'm sorry.
So someone that was on the prevailing side should do a motion for reconsideration.
I'll move to reconsider, Madam Mayor.
Been moved and properly second. Cast your vote.
Madam Mayor, can we do a?
Good call.
Yes. Thank you.
Voice.
You want one at a time? Or
We
just
can-
a?
We can do them both.
We could all say aye, that would save time.
That's okay. Call roll, honey.
Councilmember Rojas?
Yes.
Verbal. Thank you. Councilmember Deere?
Aye.
Councilmember Hicks?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem is absent. Mayor Davis Holmes?
Yes.
Okay, the
So
motion
now
carries.
you have to do a new motion.
Okay, then the motion was, you can restate the motion. Who made the motion?
Certainly, I made the motion. I move we approve the consent calendar without item number 10, 21, and 22.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Please cast your vote.
Councilmember Rojas?
Yes.
Councilmember Deere?
Yes.
Councilmember Hicks?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Hilton is absent. Mayor Davis Holmes?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Madam Mayor, I'll make the motion for 10 if we want to, if you're ready.
Yeah. Now you have to make a motion on item 10 too.
Well, I want to, it's a receiving file, but I have some comments on it.
Item 10. There's action items.
So I'll make the motion that we approve staff recommendation by receiving and filing the 2024-2025 mid-year financial report and adopt resolution number 25-017, a resolution of the City of Carson City Council amending the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget in the general fund.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. I have some questions on it though, to our city manager. Did I overlook it?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Did I overlook the Women's Issues Commission? We want to add that their request into this budget. How could we add their request for funding?
Yeah, no, I think that's just a transfer item, Madam Mayor, that we can do.
We can do that?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's just funding that we would, if it's over a certain dollar amount that we need to bring for you to approve for transfer, then so be it. But if it's the dollar amount is within my assigning authority or transfer authority, then we don't need to bring it before the council. So it's really just based upon the dollar amount.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that our staff person that's here, Raven, and Maisha, that you guys have a budget for the Women's Issues Commission. You could discuss that with them, and the city manager will let you know how to proceed. And then my other question was, I had it on. The street improvement, I know we allocated $35 million to our Public Works Director. That's almost been spent. In this mid-year budget, are we asking for additional funds to come so that we can get all of the streets completed here in the city? I know the $35 million is well spent.
Yes, ma'am. We'll be coming to you. Item number 22 is a request $5 million for the rest of this fiscal year.
Okay, but I'm just looking at it. Is it included in this mid-year budget?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then my other question is, and I don't know where we are on it, but before one of our directors left, and I mentioned to you about that franchise oil fee, that's additional revenues that should be coming to the city. I think we've met with the consultant.
Yes. Yes, Madam Mayor. So we did have staff go through and do an assessment. And so based upon the information that we've received, we actually were planning on meeting with you on Monday on the one-on-ones. So you can kind of see the outline, what has been researched, what the information was providing as far as revenue, that's outstanding, and then potential and opportunities that the city can procure based upon the information found.
Yeah, and we'll talk about who's in place monitoring this, because this is something that I asked for when I was in 2007.
Yes, ma'am. So that we'll be bringing that forward to you as well.
Okay. All right. So don't forget about it. I'm going to be here for a little while, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, we have that highlighted, Madam Mayor. Yes.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to highlight also Councilman Hicks, because it's been his a pain point in a sense, but also he's been advocating for fiber, and as all of you have. And so part of this, and the reason why I wanted to make sure everyone understood that part of the $5 million that you approved is to move forward in the fiber optic network program for the city that we, the city of Carson, would own, not another vendor, not another entity. Our director of IT, Gary Carter, has been working feverishly on that, so much so that several major corporations have been trying to procure his employment. And so because of what he does. And so we're doing everything we can to anchor him here. But this is the first step. And so we're proud of this project and excited to get this kicked off. So I want to thank you, Council, as you move forward to not only providing fiber for your residents, businesses, but as well as creating an enterprise fund for the city.
Thank you. And to Gary Carter, you just moved up on the list.
Can't go anywhere.
I would thank you.
Thank you.
You cannot go anywhere. So, Mr. City Manager, I make sure that these faces that I'm looking at stay put for the next at least 4 years. That's a contract. And anyone that comes on that is moving us in the direction that we want to go in, it's a 4-year commitment. So, sorry.
It pays to work for the city of Carson.
So thank you for that report. Excellent report. Yes.
Madam Mayor, if I may, I wanted to just introduce Ashton Watts. He's come in as the Budget 1 analyst. He's a grad with a master's from USC about a year ago. He stepped in and he helped me fulfill completing this mid-year, and he's also been intricate in the new fiscal year 25-26 budget process. So I did want to introduce him. He's been a huge asset to the finance team.
You've been here how long?
Right on.
How long have you been here?
2 months so far.
Okay, I'll check you out.
Can I be a part of that 4-year commitment too?
Yes. You have 4 more months to go before I give you that.
But yeah, I would like to say thank you, Madam Mayor, Council, for introducing me. Thank you, Will, for introducing me. I played a part in doing the mid-year budget. I'm looking forward to being an asset to the city of Carson. So thank you all again.
All right. Thank you. Item number 21, Cedric.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Were the votes cast?
Oh, did we vote? Oh, did we vote?
We have to vote.
Please.
Oh.
Moved in second. Where's my little voting? There it is.
Yes. Oh, no, I don't see it. It's not on my screen.
Hit the screen.
My screen shows it.
There we go.
Okay, thank you. The motion carries, Madam Mayor, with 1 absence.
Okay. Thank you. Councilman.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I approved this item. I wanted the staff to give an updated report on the surplus equipment that's going to be sold, but there are 3 different questions. One being, are any of these items going to be replaced based upon the need of the city? Number 2, based upon those funds, will those funds be able to be recycled to assist in the repurchasing of the new equipment? And 2 equipments that I'm looking for, one is a sidewalk cleaner. I know that we had one before, and I think there was issues with not having an operator that can actually operate the sidewalk cleaner in the city. We had one before, and just wanted to make sure we can get that back into place, that we can have our sidewalks clean. I know that I'm getting a lot of complaints about or sidewalks, and we got to figure out something to do with individuals walking their dogs and their dogs leaving excrement on the sidewalks, and people are having some concerns. And I know that's a Cal OSHA issue at some point in time. That I know I heard that from our director of public works. But again, the residents are walking their dogs in some kind of way of enforcement. But those who don't have a dog are being impacted by having to walk around this kind of stuff as they walk through the city of Carson. And then the last item is a tree grinder. So as we move some of our trees, and I know that at some point in time, we had a tree grinder, then we didn't have one, it got broke. But as we go through this community and redoing our trees, is that part of the contract that we have with our tree trimmers, or do we have somebody in-house that can do it as well?
Thank you, Councilman Hicks. And so for the first portion of your question, I'll pass it to our Director of Community Services, Mr. Whitaker, so he can kind of give you a brief update on the surplus aspect.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and elected officials. I'll read a bit of the summary in regards to the needs for this particular item. The city utilizes auctioneer services to dispose surplus vehicles or equipment on an as-needed basis. Currently, there are several city vehicles and equipment in need of auctioning due to either age, obsolescence, repair costs, or being deemed non-operational. The City Council is asked to approve this disposition of surplus city vehicles and equipment listed on the auctioneer's consignment forms. One thing that I wanted to discuss is the buses. I know Councilmember Hicks asked questions in regards to replacement of buses. Replacement of these items, because some are buses and some are additional items as well. We will be replacing our city buses with electric vehicles. Our first buses are set to be received in the month of April of this year. We will be getting 2 buses during that time. Within another year's time, we will be purchasing 1 more electric bus, which will complete the fleet. We've had some Public Works and Community Services are seeking council approval to auction inactive vehicles and equipment. Transportation bus Bluebird was damaged due to a small fire. City's first electric buses are going to arrive here in April. A 3rd electric bus will be replacing the Bluebird that was actually burned. And proceeds from the sales will pay for auctioneers' service fees as well. City has used this auction for many years. It's Ken Porter's auction, which originally was here in the city of Carson on Avalon Boulevard and has moved to the city of Anaheim. So we will be using those same services to auction off all of our vehicles that are no longer in use.
Thank you for that. Now, you talked about the buses. I wasn't going to get detailed. I just wanted to make sure that when we do get these buses, you know, we are the host for the 28 Olympics. I just left several meetings in LA regarding transportation, since we will have a designated parking area and that no one can actually drive to the venues. And they're trying to determine, based upon the cities that are actually housing, how can we as a city be involved with busing and getting transportation for those. So if we don't have any of the buses, I'm looking at now, this is 2025 and this is in 2028, making sure we have that infrastructure in place to assist in doing that transportation to and from to the venues.
So to your point, I don't want to get into too much of that topic just because I know it's not on the agenda, but there is a plan in place. We understand that the Olympics is to be carless, so to speak, but there is something that the mayor has given us direction, and we're feverishly trying to accomplish to where we can alleviate that issue. We wouldn't actually need buses per se because of what we want to present as a city. Obviously, if we're going to be hosting games and they're going to be here, people need a place to park and where to locate. And so we believe we have a destination that people can actually drive to and park and come to experience the games or experience the Olympic type atmosphere that we plan on creating. And so I think when that plan is revealed, and we can share that with you offline, as well as the rest of the council, then I think that will kind of answer the question as to where we are with buses. We will have some buses to facilitate for the needs that we have for events, but not necessarily particularly for the Olympics only because of what we wanted to propose in lieu of that. However, if we need to pivot because that doesn't become an option as our number one option, then that is definitely something that we would look at for additional buses. But we believe that we've got a very good option and plan that will help facilitate people that want to experience the Olympics and the games here in the city of Carson.
Yeah.
Mr. City Manager, small note. In addition to the buses as well, along with the report that Dr. Rogers will provide, we did receive 2 new grants where we will receive 9 vehicles, electric vehicles as well, that will be coming up in the very near future as well. So we are on the move in regards to our electric vehicles. We've already put the infrastructure in our facilities for charging and things of that nature. So Carson is on the map.
Okay. Thank you. Before you go to your next topic, the Bluebird is the school bus. We're getting another 60-passenger Bluebird, whatever you want to call it, a school bus.
We haven't replaced that one yet. We haven't ordered that one yet. So we're still in the plans for that one. And it's definitely going to depend on how we'll be able to charge those new buses in the actual warehouse area that we have right now for the electric chargers. So we're still vetting that information out at this time.
And I did talk to the city manager about 460. I think 460 was purchased with property monies. Was that assistant city manager? We are going to be the host, and so when the dignitaries come here, they need to ride in a nice bus from wherever they need to go. So 460 and the other Prevos that we had 2. Oh, we only have 1 now. What?
We only have 1 that's been auctioned off already.
So are we going to purchase? We need to purchase another.
We are purchasing the 2 we are purchasing, and then we are looking for additional funding for the other buses that we're going to purchase in the very near future. They will be here for 2020.
Because it takes a long time to build that Prevost.
Yeah, a year.
Yes, a long time. The buses that you're getting are only like 35 passenger though, aren't they?
Correct. 35 or less.
Or less.
Yes.
They can't go too far. So I think it's important, Mr. City Manager, for us to look at getting another Bluebird and our Prevost. The 48 passenger. That's our luxury recliner bus that we've had. That's necessary because we had 2 at one time. And I think Prop A or Prop C monies.
Prop A.
Prop A purchased them, so. Okay, continue.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
if I could segue on what you're saying there. You know, when the Olympics are here, there's going to be a lot of people in our city wanting to go places. And if it's going to be carless, the city better be prepared. Otherwise, what will happen is the spectators will come here for the sport, and then they'll get in their car and they'll leave Carson if it's not convenient. And we know that, so there's a lot of planning, a lot of effort has to go forward, and we have to allocate the funds early and make sure we're not behind the 8 ball on this. We can't be late. We have to really be on top of this. Otherwise, all the revenue that would be generated in our retail establishments, sure, they might be full to some degree, but we won't be able to maximize it unless we do it right. So thank you.
Yep, thank you, Councilman Durr. And last meeting, you all actually approved the RFP and selection of, is what we brought forward, the consultant that was going to be helping us with the Olympics. Their experience, well-versed, and to your point, their sole purpose is to provide information and suggestions and recommendations on how we can secure funding that comes in as visitors come. And so we believe we have an answer to how we are going to do that. And again, that'll be shared in the coming weeks to months based on the mayor's decision. But that is definitely been addressed, and there's a plan A and B that's in place and designed, ready to move out on.
Mr. City Manager, when we start moving in that direction, we could probably put that in closed session to discuss so that everyone's on the same page. We're getting updates as to how we're moving because 2028 will be here before we know it. And, but I do want to let my colleagues know that the consultant that was hired by the city is the same consultant for Inglewood and LA. So we were going to be getting the same information and the same, to help us move, because last time people just came here, got in their vehicles and left. And the city did not cap, and our residents didn't even know the Olympics were, half of them didn't even know the Olympics were here in the city. And so that's not the plan. We have an ad hoc committee, so as soon as we meet, we'll be giving updates in closed session, unless our city attorney said we can make it public. Closed session is fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. City Manager, second half of that long question I have.
If you could repeat the question, sir. 'cause
It was now dealing with the sidewalk cleaner and tree grinders.
JR has a sidewalk cleaner. JR has a sidewalk cleaner.
Does it?
Councilmember, I believe we have you're referencing a tree stump grinder. I believe we have one in inventory as we speak. As far as a sidewalk sweeper, we went out to bid for additional sweeping, which included that, and we had some concerns with how the bid came across, so we're actively pursuing different options to make sure. However, we do have a crew that does get out there once a week and sweep some of the major areas that have been brought to my attention. So if there is additional sidewalks that are not being swept by our hand crew that gets out there once a week, please let me know, and we'll add that to the list.
Avalon from University Drive to Del Amo. I mean, not Avalon, Wilmington.
Same spot.
Yeah,
Same spot.
same spot, both of them.
Mm-hmm. Same spot JR's been hearing about.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. 4.
Thank you. With that, I move staff's recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any further conversation? Hearing none. Cast your vote. Where's my vote?
Hit the screen. Hit the screen.
I did. Mine still shows approve. Okay, hit it for me.
Use your finger punch.
Hmm? This is the start and stop. Mine's doing what it wants to.
Hers doesn't say vote. It says start and stop.
Okay, my vote is yes.
Okay, and with that, the motion carries 4-0, 1 absent.
Okay. Item number 23 is a special order of the day.
Item 22.
Oh, 22, yeah.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Stayed on 21 too long.
A lot of info. Just from the staff's perspective through the city manager to get an update information on this particular contract for our street repairs, slurry sealing, grinding overlay, the entire process. And I know that there was a discussion and a question asked of the mayor earlier regarding the, I guess, additional funding for that project. And again, I think I brought this up at the last meeting, looking at the streets that are being paved and making sure we're not paving the same street 3 and 4 times. My residents are saying, my street was paved before, and I understand they paved it again, but then the street right next to it has not been touched in the last 5 or 6 years. So they're trying to determine why are the same streets being repaved repetitively when another street hasn't been touched at all. So I just want that, hope that within this contract that we don't have that same process.
Councilmember, thank you for that input. What it sounds like is that we do have streets in the city that have been slurry sealed multiple times. That's a different application. As far as this particular program, no streets have been repaved twice or more than. I can't speak for anything that happened prior to this program, but from me driving around and witnessing what's happening, I do see many streets in the city that have been slurried a couple of times, multiple times. So that could be what the resident is referencing, and that will be something we will take a look at. We have been noticing that ourselves, and we do have a plan in place to make sure that when we're done with this particular program that we're putting in place, that won't happen again, at least under my watch.
Okay. I guess the concern has been, they love the idea that the streets are being done in the city. But if you live on one street and it was maybe slurry sealed prior to your arrival and it was done and it doesn't look bad, but the street next to it hasn't been touched at all, but you go back and re-slurry seal the same one that was done 2 years ago, that's where the residents are saying, well, why we keep hitting that same street when the one 2 blocks away hasn't been touched at all? So I don't know if anyone is, I understand we have a rating and the streets are rated based upon if it's ground and overlay, slurry seal, the whole process. If someone can go and actually look at what they're proposing to actually slurry seal and visually say, does this really need to be slurry seal or can we do the one next to it because that street hasn't been touched at all? It gives a better aesthetic looking, then you don't have to come back behind that street. But I know you guys have a method to the madness in regards to the rating and that maybe that street rates a certain way, so a slurry seal is quick and easy to get it done, but to the lay eye, it doesn't look like it needs to be done because it's being repetitively being slurry sealed over and over again. So that was about the biggest concern that the residents are having.
Again, yes, there have been streets in the city that have been slurried multiple times, and our superintendent, Mr. Kirby Jones, physically has his team and himself driving the streets and putting those things into phases, so they are physically being looked at before we initiate a phase in the program.
Yep.
Is that our contract manager, the one that's the manager over this projects? No. He's an employee, so we don't have someone that's going out other than staff making sure that these streets are being taken care of the way they should be.
No, we actually have the contractor who has bought into what we're doing as well. So we have multiple eyes out there doing it. So what we've done in this is a new contract. Previously, what we did, we've revamped it. We made it more efficient. We got lower rates on the asphalt per ton. And so it is a more effective thing, but we are physically out there driving the streets, taking a look at them and seeing what needs to be done. Yes, there have been multiple slurry on a lot of different streets, and you will see some streets that get repaved and some streets that get slurry because of the index that it has. It's a waste of city funding to pave a street that all it needs is a slurry seal.
Well, we just want all the streets replayed, re-slurred, re-something. Councilman Deere?
Yeah, thank you. I agree with my colleagues on this issue. And I do want to ask, through the city manager to his staff, Public Works Director, the issue about before the end of the year, quite a few streets were either slurry sealed or paved. Some of the slurry seals needed to be redone. They're really, we talked about this already, and we talked both online and offline. So could you, city manager and Public Works Director, comment on that? Are these streets that have a very poor job been addressed? Because as you know, one street looks beautiful, the next street there's lumps and divots and brand new, just been slurried, and cars drove over it and damaged it. So it's permanently damaged until it's fixed. So my question, the bottom line is have they been fixed? And if not, when will they be fixed? Thank you.
For the slurry seal program, there is a punch list that has been created, and we're adding more issues to that, and that will be taken care of as quickly as we can get to it, is weather permitting for slurry seal. It's again a different process, so we have to wait on certain weather conditions so we can get out there and make sure that it's taken care of properly.
Thank you.
Councilman, did you have a list of streets? Because I know when I call him, I'll shoot him a picture and say, hey, this is shoddy work.
Good idea. I'll put it on paper.
Yeah.
He and I discuss it. He knows what the streets are, but
yeah,
I'll put it on
shoot him a picture and say, who did this?
I'll send
It
photos.
says shoddy work. Okay.
You know what I meant.
There's a lot of streets in the city, so he has his hands full.
He
and-
does. It's
Yeah.
a lot. It's a lot of deferred maintenance when it comes to
It is.
Well, Mr. Public Works, we appreciate everything because I don't want you to be looking for another job.
He ain't going nowhere. And the last street, and I don't know, the mayor may know this, or maybe the city manager, and we talked about this in the past, even Councilman Deere. Alameda which I know at some point in time, based upon the Alameda corridor, and this is in District 3, from Del Amo all the way to 223rd, it needs somebody needs to do something with the street because the street is horrible, and that's a truck route, and it's really bad. And the residents in that community are having issues, I think, rims being bent and that all because the road is so bad. Where are we at with the state, or is it going to become a state highway, or it's still our street? Do we need to figure out how we're going to maintain and do something with the street?
That's JR. That's a JR.
That's a JR question. Alameda.
SR 47.
We gave it to the state. So.
No,
That's been a fight.
It's a little complicated. So Alameda, as you know, you approved an MOU with the state, with Caltrans to begin to undertake the process to take Alameda into the state highway system. Then a year later, 8-9 months later, they came back and said, we don't have the money, about $3 to $5 million for the environmental document and the application to actually process the application to the CTC, the California Transportation Commission, to do it. They also set a number of other conditions that they wanted. They wanted agreement of all the jurisdictions that SR 47 goes through, which is City of LA, County of LA, Compton, and the City of Carson. And the final one was that in order for the state to accept the highway into the state highway system, it had to be upgraded to state highway standards prior to them actually accepting it. So none of this was part of the conversation that the mayor, during the supply chain crisis back in 2001, they said, we'll do whatever you want in order for you to cooperate with us on container storage and other trucks in Carson. And so we've gone back and forth with Caltrans. We haven't dropped it as an issue, but part of it starts with, and we've gone to the director. We've gotten a response from the director, who was the district director at the time in 2001. Now he's a Caltrans director. But it is, in the meantime, however, I believe they are working with our staff on doing some repairs on certain sections of Alameda, some of the worst sections of Alameda, through their repair budget. It comes from the kind of the repair pot, and not a pot that they don't have, which is not the ability to not work on to use state highway money on non-state highways. So they're trying to be cooperative, but we don't have a resolution on the actual.
So we need to talk, because the other concern is, the President's Track, the Lincoln Track, all the residents over there, and then the actual on-ramps off of Alameda onto, say, Del Amo, Carson Street, 223rd. Those ramps have divots in them that are so deep, you have to go between to try to get your car. I'm just trying to figure out the process of getting it to livable in the area, because quality of life is being compromised because the road is so bad, and it's really horrible.
Well, right. So right now, if the on-ramps in the city of Carson, you own the on-ramp. Oh. We own the on-ramp. So if we've got divots in it, we need to put it in the CIP and actually fix it. But, this is part of the multi-year endeavor to get Caltrans to really take it over. It is State Route 47 north of Carson. It's actually part of the designation. Okay. And there are actually signs in the city of Carson that say State Route 47, but it is literally from, I forget from where, from kind of the south end of, I don't remember if it's at Sepulveda or below Sepulveda, to Del Amo. It is not in the state highway system. And when they process all of this in the early 1980s. In 1982, it was left out. And I've been here 9 years. We've been fighting with them for at least 9 years. And I think it was before I got here to kind of rectify that. I don't want to say it was a drafting error. I mean, it was intentional back in the 80s to exclude this section of. It's written right into the law.
Mr. Assistant City Manager, I can touch on that if you allow me for a second.
Sure.
So what we currently have going on, because as you know, there's a lot of cross-jurisdictional stuff that happens here in Carson with LA County, a lot of other adjacent cities, agencies that are taking place, a state. We're working on an agreement, a maintenance agreement that is already floating through Caltrans so that we can effectively take care of some of these areas, so we can eliminate a lot of this cross-jurisdictional, whose street is it, whose is it. That's in the works. It just takes a little time because Caltrans is a huge bureaucracy, but we've moved quite far into that process, and pretty soon we'll be getting it back for our legal team to oversee. So we're effectively addressing that concern. It just takes a little time to get through Caltrans. I wanted to also add that to give my colleague a pat on the back, who has been diligently working with me hand in hand to make sure that we secured enough funding for these street projects. The Director of Finance, Mr. Will Jefferson, working with me, because we will also have funding, same amount of funding for next fiscal year as well, in order to continue this program so we can get all the streets paved. So I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Will's hard work in making sure that we can continue this.
Well, thank you guys for that. I guess through the city manager, JR, I guess, do we need to get in contact with our assembly staff, assemblymen for 65 and 69 to address that state issue of the state highway? Because it actually runs between two different assembly districts, between the two of them.
I think it only goes up to, I think it's only in 69. It's not in 60. It only goes up to Delamo.
Yeah, it starts at Delamo. So
Delamo is the boundary between the assembly district.
Okay, it is 69.
So I've already got Assemblyman Lowenthal's office involved in our 405 and Avalon ramp issue with Caltrans.
Okay.
But we can go back to them and kind of go back to Caltrans and revisit the issue with them again. We've talked to Councilman McOsker in his office, City of LA. They were not aware of it, of the issue, and they have the same. I mean, they have the same issue. The Alameda's pretty bad, even south of Carson. I mean, it's in the City of LA.
It's getting worse.
And it's getting worse. Well, yeah. Well, you have to go down Henry Ford. If you go down Alameda, you will lose your car.
Yeah.
In the hole. And Alameda is so bad when you get down to Anaheim Street. It's terrible.
It's just dirt.
It's dirt, and but the state route is actually Henry Ford, where it splits, and then the county of LA. We're working right now with the county of LA on the ramp. At Delamo, the ramp from Alameda up to Delamo. Mm-hmm. The county constructed I don't want to take up the meeting, but the county constructed that ramp on the city's behalf back in the I want to say 1990s, I think, or 1980s or 1990s.
When they built the bridge.
When they built the bridge. They were supposed to relinquish the ramp and the parcels back to the city of Carson. Actually, technically, to go back to your question earlier about ramps, the county today is shown as the owner of those parcels where the ramp is.
We own it.
Well, we're supposed to own it. They believe we own it, except they
never transferred.
They never transferred it. They
don't take care of it because they believe
they own it.
And they don't take it because they believe we own it, but they know that they own it. And so we're working on the relinquishment right now with them for it to come back to the city. And the issue was identified by the Metropolitan Water District as part of the Pure Water Project, because that pipe is going to go kind of right through that ramp. And they were doing title work, and they came to us a year ago and said, can you help us resolve this? And the county we went to the county in July, and they said, yeah, we'll take care of it. They didn't, so we're back. So we're working on that. So it's complicated. The county's involved, city's involved, City of Compton's involved, a little further north, and then the City of LA.
Through the mayor, I want to ask Councilman Hicks, before you make the motion, I have one more very pertinent question. So you're saying that Alameda Street has not gone through the transfer process. We still own it.
We still own the section, in the City of Carson.
So there's an area where it's very common concrete meets asphalt, and the asphalt bulges up.
Mm-hmm.
It's causing a lot of damage to vehicles, and we need to stop that. So since we own it, I would ask the mayor to put it on the agenda for us to allocate the funds to fix that short section that's within the City of Carson's jurisdiction, so that we as a city are not negligent in leaving Alameda Street, at least that section that we control, a hazard. And so could we, through the city manager and his staff and JR, could we have our staff go out, look at it, and see what has to be done, see how much it costs, bring it to us if we need to allocate funds, or maybe it's low enough the city manager can approve it. But really, I want to cut through the red tape and get to the point that we need to fix the street when it's hurting our residents.
I think these are the areas that Caltrans has identified that they will fix. Even though they're not,
lifetime?
No, they've walked it. They've walked it with our staff to identify it, and I think they're going through the contracting process to be able to do it. So
right now,
I think so. I'll find out for sure.
Thank you very much.
So we could say,
Yeah.
because it's an issue, and they were in love with us as long as they needed something, and we had spoken all the way to Dianne Feinstein's office, and as soon as we got ready to do the
And the White
MOU, and the White House was involved in this. As soon as
Because
we
it's
got ready to
Alameda-
do the
'cause Alameda
MOU,
corridor.
the person that was in the White House left, and now we're back to, oh no, you fix it, then we'll take it. So this has been going on forever.
long, too
But we
long.
bypassed it.
Madam Mayor, JR said that in order for the process to be complete, we have to bring this street up to the standard
State
of
standards.
Caltrans.
States.
So if we don't fix it, it won't meet the standard, and it will not be transferred.
Well, the standard is way more than just fixing. Even if you totally repaved it, it's still not the state highway standard. It's a major
Highway.
We don't have the money to do it.
reconstruction of it. It's
Concrete is a certain
many,
thickness.
many, many millions of dollars.
Okay, so
Well,
let's
fix the hazard, please. Thank you.
find out where they are on that,
Yes.
Mr. City Manager, and
I'll
let
talk
us
to-
know so we can
I'll talk to Gilbert tomorrow.
Gilbert tomorrow.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
My last question to the Public Works Director, I know it's long. McHelen, and I think we talked about it under the 405 freeway. Is potholes, divots, it's really bad right off of 223rd.
Councilman Hicks, if I may, that issue was brought to me a few years ago.
It's still there.
Half of the street is in Long Beach, half is in Carson. The Carson side has been fully repaired and in very good condition. We need to get a encroachment permit from the city of Long Beach to patch that. They wouldn't give it to us. And
Well, both sides are bad
so,
now.
well, of course, as time goes by, it's going to break down further. But for some reason, they just won't cooperate. You can try if you want. I work with the council member at the time who's now termed out, not there any longer. So you can try, and I'll support you with any history you need. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, I move staff recommendation.
Second.
No further conversation?
That's enough.
Where's my little vote? Been moved and properly second? My vote is yes. It's not coming.
Is it not working?
I'm hitting. What I have is that the approve, motion by Hicks, second by Deere, and then when I hit, it comes back up to, am I leaving the meeting? Am I on a speaker on a timer? But my vote is yes.
Thank you.
That's what it wants to do.
Okay. The vote is 4 to 1 absence. So the motion carries, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Item number 23, special order of the day. This is a public hearing. Mr. City Manager. Oh, it's a public hearing. I'm going to open the public hearing. Is there any public testimony on this item? Substantial amendments to the 2024 and 25 and 2019, 2020 annual action plan by the City of Council. No public comment? I'll close the public hearing.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
if we don't need a staff report, I'll make a motion, but if city manager can make that decision.
That's to the pleasure
Make
of
it
the
a
council.
quick and dirty, so we'll know what it is. Quick and dirty staff report.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. Then we'll just have our staff, Ms. Deborah and Tony, give a, as the mayor calls it, very quick staff report. Quick and clean.
Quick and nice. Quick and nice. And
Quick
clean.
and nice. They've been sitting here. I want them to say something. We're not going to send them home without participating.
Better press the green button there. Used to be green.
Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. Good evening, Madam Mayor and City Council. Yes, this is the CDBG funds that are being carried forward to 24-25 from 23-24. And also our CDBG CV funds are being reallocated to 24-25 as well. And all of it will be utilized for our MPP program. Any questions?
That was quick. Any questions? Councilman?
Okay, I will move that we approve the submission of substantial amendments to the 2024-2025 and the 2019-2020 annual action plans to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, commonly known as HUD.
Thank you.
Oh, there's more. Authorize the reallocation of $552,940.25 in Community Development Block Grant, also known as CDBG funds from program year 2023-2024. Allocate funds to the Neighborhood Pride Program, NPP. And 4, authorize the reallocation of the Community Development Block Grant Coronavirus CDBG CV fund balance of $256,826.25 to the existing COVID-related residential rehabilitation program, and waive further reading and adopt resolution number 25-018 of the City Council of the City of Carson, California, reallocating $552,940.25 in CDBG funds from program year 2023-2024 to program year 2024-2025, and allocating the funds to the Neighborhood Pride Program, as well as reallocating $256,826.25 CDBG CV funds from program year 2019 and 2020 to COVID-related residential rehabilitation.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Any comments, questions? Hearing none, please cast your vote.
Okay, if you don't mind, I'd like to bring up our new housing analyst.
Let me vote first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. You just want to be up there a long time. My vote is yes.
Motion carries, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Now,
Okay, so I'd like to bring up our new housing analyst, Dwayne Cobb. He will be the person that will be administering the CDBG program.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council.
how are you?
So y'all rotate
Pretty good in
staff.
yourself?
I'm great.
Y'all rotate staff, huh?
Pretty good in yourself?
I'm great. How are you?
No complaints. Glad to be here.
Welcome to our family.
Thank you very much.
Whose place did he take?
Keith Bennett
Keith?
was serving.
I didn't know he had retired. No. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll leave that alone. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Jeez, oh, bees, oh. Next is item number 24. We've already completed. We carried over to the next meeting. Item number 25 is consideration of local uncontested appointments to the commissions, committees, and boards. Does anyone have anyone to add? Councilwoman? Okay. Councilman, you're good?
Mine are complete.
Councilman Hicks?
I'm good. I have one more, but it's for the relocation. No, what is it called? Relocation Appeal Board?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to get someone for that one.
Okay. On my appointees, Madam City Clerk, on the Environmental Commission, alternate number 1 is Brittany Ford. If you don't have her phone number, I have it. For the Human Relations Youth Commission, I have one person. I received an application, Cameron Payton. You know that young man? Cameron Payton. He put in an application also. Then I have another vacancy for youth on the Human Relations Commission. Okay, and you have a couple of alternates on the youth. The next one is...
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Does Brittany Ford already have an application on file?
I think so.
Okay.
If not, I have her phone number. She has to because I have a phone number here.
Okay, and then the
Madam Mayor.
same for Cameron Payton. If
I'll
we could
make a motion to approve your appointments if you're
I
complete.
got a few more here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay.
We'll wait.
It's Cameron Payton. I have his number. He has an application on file. Yes. On the Public Relations, alternate number 3, Brent Page. The number that I called was disconnected. Maybe I was dialing it wrong. And Saeed, on the Mobile Home Park Rental Review Board, what is the name of the person that was gonna park owner alternate number 2? Huh?
I'm drawing a blank, Mayor.
You didn't email me.
I'll send you the information.
Whatever person he's, we'll bring it back next time. It's alternate number 2.
That's not the clerk's job.
Councilman Hicks, Arlene, and, okay, Relocation Appeals Board. Then for the Finance Committee, I would like to, Audit Committee, I'd like to add Councilman Hicks as an alternate when our councilwoman cannot make it, so we could still meet. Okay? Those are my recommendations.
Madam Mayor, I'll move to ratify your appointments.
Thank you. It's been moved. You're not gonna second it?
Second. I was giving my colleague just a second.
What's going on here? It's been moved and probably second. Please cast your vote. My vote is yes.
The motion carries, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Item number 26, introduction of the first reading of an ordinance number 252404, adding chapter 13, illegal speed contests and exhibitions of speed to Article 3, public safety of the Carson Municipal Code to prohibit spectators at illegal motor vehicle speed contests or exhibitions of speed. Councilman Deere.
Yes. Thank you. This item is very dear to my heart. It was brought to me by Public Safety Commissioner Flinton nearly 2 years ago, and at that time, he provided me a lot of documentation that was very valuable for our city staff to go through the process of making a ordinance for the city of Carson that's customized and unique for our city. But it was a very good draft to work with. It's in effect in other cities, and we now have it in our city. So I think this is very good. I want to thank the mayor for putting it on the agenda, and though I did ask for it several times, as you know. So we waited a long time, year and a half, maybe almost 2 years, to get this on the agenda tonight. But now it's complete, so I'm very happy that we are able to get this ordinance that is needed and could very well save lives in the long run. So after the staff report, I'll make a motion if that's appropriate.
Before you make that motion, I want to clarify that mayor didn't keep this off. It had to be vetted through the city attorney's office. Am I not correct? This item?
Yes, that's
It
correct.
had nothing to do with the mayor. Mayor put it on as soon as it was complete by our city attorney. So thank you, Madam City Attorney. Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. For the report on the staff report, I'd like to allow our Director of Public Safety, Nora Garcia, to give a brief update and presentation on the work that she's been able to accomplish along with the Attorney's Office.
Yes, thank you, Mr. City Manager, and again, good afternoon or good evening, Madam City Mayor or Madam Mayor and members of the City Council. First and foremost, I do want to say it was a joint effort to get us to this position with the Sheriff's Department and, of course, our City Attorney's Office. Just in summary, the proposed ordinance would make it a crime for any individual to be present as a spectator at an illegal motor vehicle speed contest or exhibition of speed, or at a location where preparations as defined in the proposed ordinance is being made for the same. The proposed ordinance also provides that an alternative to criminal prosecution, LASD or city code enforcement officers may issue administrative citations, which now we have the ability to do, which shall be in the amount of $2,000 per violation unless a higher amount is set forth by the City Council per the City Municipal Code. I'm happy to answer any other questions.
Any questions from my colleagues, comments? Councilman
Just
Deere.
one, I again want to thank the staff for working diligently and cooperatively to bring this ordinance before our City Council for consideration tonight.
Thank you.
So I'll make a motion that we introduce for the first reading by title only, ordinance number 25-2504, an ordinance of the City of Council of the City of Carson, California, adding Chapter 13, illegal speed contests and exhibitions of speed, to Article 3, public safety, of the Carson Municipal Code to prohibit spectators at illegal motor vehicle speed contests or exhibitions of speed.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Hearing no further comments, please cast your vote. My vote is aye.
The motion carries, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Council members' requests for future agenda items. All communications.
I have an item. To the staff, to the city manager, I know that the Captain Norman had brought us information at our last meeting about AB 413 in regards to prohibiting stopping or standing or parking within 200 feet of a crosswalk, prohibiting parking from 15 to 20 feet of a crosswalk, either marked or unmarked, for the first 5 months since it's just become inactive, but after that they will start doing citations. My request is to put together a red curb initiative so that we're able to paint all of our curbs red in those intersections that are within the 20 feet that's been identified in AB 413 to assist them in citating tickets to individual in violations. It also is a deterrent to at least help our pedestrians have a safer transition as they cross the streets. Because now you have an open area so that people can actually see around vehicles versus having to look to determine if a car is coming down the street or not. So my request is to put together a red curb initiative for us to do the street based upon AB 413.
Thank you, Councilman. Oral Communications Council members. Councilwoman. Hearing none. Councilman Hicks?
Just one item I wanted to talk about. I did Rising Star. I went to the Rising Star through the Human Relations Commission. Their event was on Saturday. Very well attended to see the young people give their speeches, and some want to go to Harvard, and some have already started their own business, to know that the future is bright here in the city of Carson, that individuals are still speaking in English and writing in English versus the way that you text and use Ebonics and how you put things out when you're texting each person. They're actually writing out the words. When you want to say thanks, it's not THX, it's this THA, they're spelling it out. So I'm very pleased at that. In addition, at that event, we had Congresswoman Annette Barragan. She showed up and presented and came, and it was very well received by the parents and the students that were there. And even our Assemblyman Mike Gibson was there as well, and Captain Norman, who showed up to the event as well. I just want to give kudos. The mayor showed up a little bit later in the day, but she did show up. The mayor came, stole the show as usual. She came in and let everybody know the mayor was here. She took the photos with the kids. Councilman Jim Deere showed up, so it was a good thing. Arlene, we missed you, but we knew you were at work, so we told them you were at work and could not make it, so they were understanding of that. And then we also gave apologies for MPT as well. But again, the students were very... Yeah, I did. I said he was there. Yeah, he was there. He was there as well. But again, very well attended. I think it just needs to be publicized. I get more to people to know what's happening in the city. And I want one key thing, I guess, I don't know what staff person handles that. Oh, my CAC. I had to think. To make sure we include all of our students in all of our elementary schools in the city, so we have representation of the entire city. We just need to make sure, based upon this is very worthwhile, that we make sure that all of our schools are represented at this event in doing this essay contest. So I don't know how can we kind of guarantee that, but at least give them the information and have a point person that you contact to kind of follow up with, and making sure that we have all those students available at that event. My last item is, again, okay, Dr. Rogers, you've been on my list for a while, huh? Street lights are out. The street lights do not work on Del Amo between Avalon and Buffalo Wild Wings. So when you get to Buffalo Wild Wings on Del Amo, you are in the dark. There are no lights. The Buffalo Wild Wings. I need one now. Then the next street is on Del Amo from Campaign Drive to Tillman. So both of those lights, those bank of lights are out. So I don't know what the problem is, but Del Amo is very, very dark. Now that makes me think of another thing. I talked to the mayor about this. Do an initiative, light up Carson. We need to put something together and say we're going to light up Carson so we're visible in the community. We need to put some lights in these streets because it's dark in certain areas, either through Southern California Edison or somebody. We need to work on a project called Light Up Carson so that we can make this city brighter. Since we're talking about the diamond, we need to shine like one. So we need to make the streets in the city look brighter by having light in our community. It deters crime. It just makes everybody feel safer, that everybody can see everybody.
So, Councilman Hicks, so just so you know, Rita is actually working on creating a lighting district in the city, and we're going to be working in connection with Dr. Rogers to add lighting to the medians, as well as I believe there's going to be a diamond that's going to be created to have a light that shines through the sky for the city.
Shine it like a diamond.
So.
And then the last part, and it's always something, Crosswalk remarking. Crosswalk remarking. The crosswalks. I know that some are painted, they're faded. To distinctly identify that you're in the crosswalk, I don't want anyone to say, well, I didn't see the line, the person, what, but understanding pedestrians have the right of way no matter where they walk across, but at your own risk. But I want to make sure that we put the painting and the striping of our sidewalks in place at our major intersections and making sure that people know how to cross these streets and that they're visible and seen. I'm complete.
Ditto. Memorial adjournments. Oh, I'm sorry, Councilman.
I'm queued up. Okay, to segue on Councilman Hicks' comments, I agree. More lighting does deter crime in general. So our lighting should be really bright, clear lights, not the yellow lights that you see many places, and
Sodium.
doesn't illuminate the area well enough. So I think staff can work on that. And I also attended the Rising Star event put on by our Human Relations Commission. I want to compliment the commissioners for a very well-organized, good job. They do this every year. It's an annual event. And I'm not sure. I think that the students, Councilman, compete to get on there. So we do need to open this up. We need some affirmative action, so to speak, to get this to all the schools in the city of Carson, so they're aware that they can participate. Because some schools don't participate at all; they don't enter anyone into the competition, and so that needs to be done. And it was like I said, a very good event, and I recommend other people attend it. You'll be very inspired with these young people that are giving speeches at this event. Bodes well for our future. They're the future leaders of our city, our state, our country, and the leader and the world when it comes down to it. So it's a very inspiring and encouraging experience for anyone to come and view. So that's all I have, other than good night to everyone, and I'll wait for the mayor to continue the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. And I attended, and I want to ditto everything that you guys said. Sounds good to me. I want to acknowledge our former First Lady from Judson, Lady Baylor. She's decided to come visit us tonight from Judson Baptist. Johnny Baylor's is with the Lord right now, and she's getting back out. So it's good to see you out tonight, attending our meetings, our former First Lady from Judson. And then I also want to publicly acknowledge Kathleen. CAC did an amazing job with the Human Relations Rising Stars program. That program would not have been as successful without your leadership and your input. And she takes it very serious. And I'm going to make you an unofficial Lulu girl. And I just wanted to commend you. You ladies work around the clock, and I just want to say thank you for all that you do. And sometimes it does not go noticed, but I like to publicly acknowledge you. My ladies, the two original Lulu girls, are working on the state of the city, and we're going to get Christian involved in that also, so we'll have 4. Girls rule, right, ladies? But no, you did an outstanding job, and it showed. Very well organized, very well attended, and I just wanted to say thank you. Our memorial adjournments now, Madam.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. These are the names that I received for tonight. Andrew Gutierrez, Domingo Regua, Amy Lee Peters. Or that may be Amy Lee Peters. My apologies. Amy Lee Peters.
101. She would have been 102 in May. Yeah, that's a nice birthday. My daughter-in-law's mother-in-law took good care of her. Is that it?
That is it, Madam Mayor.
Whose birthday? Okay. We don't have a minister tonight? Oh, our city manager.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We bow our heads. Father, we just thank you for this time that we could just honor those that are in pain. We just ask that you would just bring peace, comfort, and strength to those families in this time of need. These things, in the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. And our unfinished business is that our councilman to my left right here, he's having a birthday. So let's sing happy birthday to him on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cedric.
Councilman Hicks.
Happy birthday to you.
It's horrible. Horrible.
We got a lot. We have to light it up in here, huh?
That's the spirit.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Another one next year, yeah.
I think we'll adjourn on that song. This meeting is adjourned.